Manchester City fans have had precious little to enthuse over this season, so you can excuse them celebrating on Saturday as if the cup final had been won. Their first league goal at Main Road since the opening day of the season arrived in the 11th minute, delivered past Keith Brannigan by Nick Summerby. It followed some intricate skill from Irish international Niall Quinn and cool work too from the Georgian Kincladza. Summerby's first of the season was only City's fourth in the Premier. They nearly struck again too a little later, Kincladza demanding a fingertip save from Brannigan. That one goal proved enough though for City's first Premier success of the season and provided at last some welcome respite for their beleaguered manager Alan Ball.
It is nice to win a game of football. I thought it was never going to come. But all credit to the lads. You know, after a thumping last week, to pick themselves up and work really hard, which they've done this week, and come out and win. It's a good feeling and it's a good dressing room.
David Boost will certainly remember Coventry's recent Coca-Cola Cup win over Saturday's league opponents Tottenham. Having been credited with an own goal, he later scored at the right end as his team staged a thrilling recovery. Coventry had come back from a 2-goal deficit that night, but this time Ron Atkinson's side took up the early initiative for themselves. Coventry ahead on 7 minutes through Dion Dublin from Kevin Richardson's through pass. Spurs were reeling at that stage, but rallied with a stirring riposte midway through the half. First a goal for Rule Fox, after Clive Wilson's free kick had been headed on by Teddy Sheringham. 5 minutes later, it was Sheringham's name on the league score sheet for the 12th time this season, after a superb finish. Such quick thinking from the England striker, sensing that Coventry goalkeeper John Phelan was off his goal line. The second half was barely underway when Spurs struck again for a third goal. Sheringham's intelligent work releasing Ronnie Rosenthal, and although his cross was partially blocked, David Howells was still able to extend Tottenham's lead. Coventry lifted themselves again though and pulled the goal back soon after. The cross from Marcus Hall was headed out by Howells and delivered back past Ian Walker for Paul Williams' first goal in a Coventry shirt. Spurs are winners though by 3 goals to 2. Matt Le Tissier celebrated his new contract with Southampton by producing his best display for a number of matches. His team off to a rousing start against Rangers with a goal after only 90 seconds. Defender Jason Dodd making the most of an error from Simon Barker. Southampton were mainly in control. Le Tissier almost embarrassed Rangers goalkeeper Jurgen Sommer when he pounced on a weak clearance and scraped the bar with a typically impudent strike at goal. Southampton were always looking likely to extend their lead, and another chance came their way when Rangers had a man sent off with just under a quarter of an hour to go. David Barnsley dismissed for elbowing Neil Heaney. The situation was tailor-made for Le Tissier, and he duly obliged with another wonderful goal to add to his impressive collection. Southampton worthy winners by 2 goals to 0. Petrescu's transfer from Sheffield Wednesday to Chelsea has been delayed. Although his move wasn't cleared in time for him to play against his former club at Stamford Bridge, he was still introduced to the crowd beforehand. Chelsea had the better of the first half chances, but without reward for their endeavour. This was Dennis Wise, prompted by Ruud Gullit, bringing the best out of Wednesday's excellent goalkeeper Kevin Pressman. It wasn't all one way though. Only Mark Bright can tell you how he managed to waste this opportunity. Ruud Gullit had been switched to an attacking midfield role for Chelsea, and next he set up Mark Steen for a chance that he really should have scored from. Pressman to the rescue again. Wednesday's impact meantime was growing. Chris Waddle watched in anguish as his audacious chip came back off a post. The match ended without a goal. Without the injured John Moncur, West Ham lacked their usual rhythm at Upton Park, and Aston Villa took advantage of their off day to record an emphatic victory. First on 34 minutes, a goal from Savo Milosevic, who's been struggling to make an impact with his new club. There was only one side in it after the interval as Villa asserted their authority. And 5 minutes into that second half, it was 2-0, courtesy of a cracking goal from Tommy Johnson. Dwight York helped to create it for him. A stunning shot then from Johnson that gave Ludek McCosco little chance in the West Ham goal. A few minutes later, York's 8th of the season steered the game beyond West Ham's reach. Another excellent goal from a player whose form has been a revelation this season. West Ham at least staged a brief revival as the post and bar came to Villa's rescue. This was Michael Hughes, unlucky with this one. West Ham was still in serious trouble. Not an easy time for their new signing John Hartz, the American from Derby, to make his entrance as a substitute. But the home team were given a glimmer of hope 6 minutes from time, earning a penalty when Ugo Ehihog handled in the area. Julian Dix signed off for his 3-match suspension by dispatching his kick past Mark Kosmich. But Villa still had the final word. More diligent work from York, paving the way for a second by Milosevic with only seconds left. Villa convincing winners by 4 goals to 1. It is over after their home draw then with Legia Warsaw in midweek, but success at Goodison Park would help Ray Harford's team revive their domestic season. Everton had other ideas though. On this first meeting with Rovers since their Charity Shield win over the champions, and they were ahead on 23 minutes, a goal from Graham Stewart that stemmed from the perseverance of Andrei Kanchelskis. Sadly, the game was living down to gloomy pre-match expectations, with Rovers offering little in attack, and indeed they might have conceded another goal, Tim Flowers pulling off a fine save from Paul Rideout. But for Flowers, Blackburn would have lost more heavily. This time he was good enough to touch an Anders Limpar shot onto the crossbar. 1-0 the final score. This was Everton's first win in the Premier since August. Income.